Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Jim Beckwith reporting here at End Times Prophecy News. We have some breaking news. Iran has struck back in Baghdad. Casualties reported after a rocket attack near U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. So far, they are not reporting. This is brand new. So they're not reporting any U.S. casualties or servicemen. Civilian casualties have been reported after rockets struck inside the Green Zone compound in Baghdad near the United States Embassy Sunday. At least 5 rockets were launched. Another missile landed on the river bank adjacent to the American Embassy, according to local media, due to the wonderful surgical strikes of Iran. At the time of this posting, it was unclear who was responsible for the attack. That's kind of obvious. The news comes amid heightened tensions between the United States and Iran following the killing of Iraqi General Qasem Soleimani. Meanwhile, 1 U.S. service member and 2 U.S. Department of Defense contractors were killed earlier, and 2 Department of Defense members were injured in an attack at Manda Bay Airfield by Al-Shabaab terror group in Kenya. So they are doing their worldwide thing. So worldwide jihad anywhere they can. So I guess they killed 3 people in Kenya, 1 U.S. service member, as I said, and 2 U.S. Department of Defense contractors were killed. But in the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, no, they pretty much failed. And, well, what did Trump say? Trump, if Americans are targeted, U.S. will send beautiful new military equipment Iran's way, from CNN News. President Trump warned the Iranian regime overnight that in the event of an attack on an American base or an American national, some of the beautiful U.S. military equipment acquired over the past 3 years would be sent its way, and without hesitation. In a tweet a few minutes after midnight, Trump said the United States just spent $2 trillion on military equipment. We are the biggest and by far the best in the world. If Iran attacks an American base or any American, we will be sending some of that brand new beautiful equipment their way, and without hesitation. So there's Trump's response to what happened in Kenya and in Baghdad, huh? See, but that's not a response. Trump said that before this came in of the bombing. So I guess now the ball is in Donald Trump's court. And another thing from Trump, these media posts will serve as notification to the United States Congress that should Iran strike any U.S. person or target, the United States will quickly and fully strike back, and perhaps in a disproportionate way, i.e. Nancy Pelosi said that about Trump's behavior. Such legal notice is not required, but is given nevertheless. And some other news on the side. A father and his 9-year-old daughter were killed while hunting. They were mistaken for deer? Are you serious? Excerpts from the article. A South Carolina man and his daughter died after being shot while hunting deer on New Year's Day. What a wonderful day to start off the year, being murdered. A relative of the victims told CNN affiliate WCBD. Emergency crews responded and found the victims about a half-mile into the woods. Colton County Fire Chief Barry McRoy told CNN. From South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, 4 hunters were attempting to move deer, also known as driving deer, near Barracuda Road in Walterboro when 2 hunters were shot after being mistaken for a deer. Those 2 hunters succumbed to their injuries. A 9-year-old girl. And what are they doing in Australia? They're burning it up. The globalists are burning up Australia. Australia fires. Heartbreaking footage shows koala and kangaroo carcasses as hundreds of millions of animals fear death. The same thing they're doing in California, they've been doing in Australia. It's really sad. Look at this. See, this is to blame. This is to get the globalists to blame people for the fires. Closed because it's global warming. but the globalists are doing it. By direct energy weapons and who knows, many other ways. Devastating footage shows the charred remains of koalas and kangaroos at the roadside. Very sad.
We're talking about the sad of the bushfires. It's not just the people that suffer. It's all of the animals, and this is just heartbreaking to come along here, and the fence line's just littered with animals that have tried to get out, and they've broken through the fence here trying to get through, and look at this. It's disturbing. It is really, really disturbing. That is just such a waste. That's just terrible. Like, where could they have gone? These animals, they're nowhere for them to go. And now they're just littered on the side of the road. And they're everywhere. It's very sad.
And we do have an attack at a Libyan military academy, which kills at least 28. But this attack is a little bit different. It doesn't sound like it's coming from Iran. Worse fighting feared after Turkish troops arrive at Reuters. At least 28 people were killed in an attack on a military academy in the Libyan capital late on Saturday, the health minister of the Tripoli-based government said. Tripoli, which is under the control of the internationally recognized government of National Accord, is facing an offensive by military commander Khalifa Haftar's Libyan National Army that began in April. There has been an increase in airstrikes and shelling around Tripoli in recent weeks, with fears that fighting could escalate further after Turkey's parliament voted to allow a troop deployment in support of the GNA. Forces allied with the GNA described Saturday's attack on the military camp as al-Habba, as an aerial bombing launched by their eastern rivals. An increase in airstrikes and shelling in and around Tripoli has caused the deaths of at least 11 civilians since early December and shut down health facilities and schools, the UN mission in Libya said on Friday. Libya's eastern-based parliament, which relocated from Tripoli in 2014 as the country split into rival camps in Tripoli and the east, voted to provide Haftar with emergency funding on Saturday. And back in U.S. news, Representative John Ratcliffe, John Durham interviewed U.S. Embassy official Dudley, who reached out to Papadopoulos months before Crossfire Hurricane. John Ratcliffe, a former U.S. attorney from Texas, joined Maria Bartiromo on Sunday Morning Futures earlier today to discuss the Pelosi slapdash impeachment scandal. Ratcliffe also broke more news on the Obama spying scandal. Now we come up with evidence that's recently been reported that one of the folks that John Durham talked to was an embassy official who reached out to George Papadopoulos 3 months before Crossfire Hurricane was ever opened. That's a sign that John Hurricane is looking at the fact that this may include Obama administration officials beyond law enforcement, perhaps to include our intelligence community. Oh, and another thing, FYI, that George Papadopoulos is going to be working for, is being employed by, I forgot the name of that news source. But it's on TV. It's not Fox News. Pardon me, I forgot. But anyway, prosecutors working for Special Counsel Robert Mueller interviewed Terrence Dudley at the U.S. Embassy in London last year about his contacts during the 2016 presidential campaign with George Papadopoulos months before Crossfire Hurricane. Ratcliffe went on to say that Brennan and Comey gave conflicting testimony under oath, blaming each other for pushing the bogus Steele dossier to spy on Trump before the election and as a sitting president. And so this statement right here, which is true, without a doubt proves that the deep state, like Brennan and Comey, are really nervous when they're blaming it on each other. Thanks, Obama. Iran can pay $80 million bounty on Trump with their Obama cash. Well, of course. I consider Obama to be the top terrorist funding president of any nation in history. An Iranian official, retaliation for killing of Soleimani will include strikes on Haifa and defense bases in Israel. Of course, they hate the Jews. They're the biggest racists in the world, Iran is. Former Iranian Revolutionary Guard Commander Mohsen Rezai said on Sunday that the retaliation for the killing of IRGC Al-Quds Force Chief Qasem Soleimani will include strikes on Haifa and defense bases in Israel. Go ahead, make Donald Trump's day. It's going to be a little bit uglier than Dirty Harry. Iranian-backed militia leader calls for lovers of martyrdom to register to carry out suicide attacks against crusader forces. They love death, don't they? And God rewards everyone according to their deeds and their works, as the Bible says over and over and over and over. The leader of Iraq's Kataib Hezbollah, an Iranian proxy group in northern Iraq, called out for a registration for lovers of martyrdom to carry out suicide missions against crusader forces in the region. Oh, isn't this just sweet and lovely? They're going to receive their lust of the flesh of 72 virgins from the planet Pluto in heaven. Yeah, but Christians, we don't lust after the flesh. We are not called not to love the things of this world, as 1 John 2:15 says. Neither the things that are in it, for the lust of the flesh, the pride of life, and the lust of the eyes perish with the world, or passeth away with the world. You see? We don't look forward to lusting of the flesh in heaven, do we? No, but they do. You see the opposites there? They serve the father of lies, Satan, which they call their God, Allah. But we know that he is the God of this world, which is, Paul says, Satan. That's right. The God of this world, lowercase g. Abu Ali al-Askari posted the notice on Telegram on Sunday. Against the background of the assassination of General Qasem Soleimani, security official of the Hezbollah party, Abu Ali military brigades, I call to open the door for registration for martyr lovers to carry out martyrdom operations against invading Crusader foreign forces, and I am honored to be the first to register, and with his permission, the Almighty first, sons of Hezbollah. Well, let's see. It's easy to sign up, but are you really going to do it? I don't believe it. We intend to target the U.S. bases across the world and even in Tel Aviv. We will take revenge from them, he told the Arabic language Al Mayadeen news website on Sunday. Last time the Palestinians, which is the same thing, Hezbollah, attacked Israel, they got about 1 kill out of 99 deaths for the Palestinians. It happens every time. And you're going to see the same thing happen. They're going to fly their rockets over. And if they get any and they're going to get hit harder than ever. As Trump says way back here, they attacked us, we hit back. He wrote, if they attack again, which I would strongly advise them not to do, we will hit them harder than they ever have been hit before. I think you better take those words seriously, folks. That's what's going to be coming to Hezbollah and Iranian IRGC Quds Force. That's what's going to be happening, and it's going to be surgical. Meanwhile, they're going to continue to kill innocent civilians across the world. But Trump already cut part of the head snake off. He's got many other heads to cut off. It's going to happen. You're looking at the best president in history of the United States to cut off Islamic radicals until he's out of the Oval Office, and then God will give them full power to behead the Christians and all the infidels across the whole world after the rapture happens. That'll be all for now. May the Lord bless.